Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at davidisinFlorida@gmail.com. If you're interested in finding out what is happening with real estate here in the Villages, you're trying to buy a home at a good price, or you're trying to sell your home in a reasonable period of time, please reach out to me at davidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you. A couple of things before we start. First, make sure you check the date on this show. We produce this every Monday. Make sure you're getting the most recent information. Secondly, all of this information is drawn from the MLS, the Multiple Listing Service. It does not include any properties on the village's own VLS, internal village listing system. So, for that reason, if you are considering buying in the villages, I would recommend that you hire two brokers, one who gives you access to the VLS and the other who gives you access to the MLS. If you only hire one broker, you'll only see about half of the properties that are currently available for sale. So, with that out of the way, let's turn to this week's show. This week, we're going to start with some good news. This map shows us the average equity gain year over year by state. And since we're in Florida, it's happy news to see that Florida is by far ahead in the average equity gain year over year. Up 25,000 is the average equity gain here, compared to a loss of 60,000 in California. Looking at things from a nationwide basis, national homeowner equity down over the last year. Q1 2022 through Q1 2023, year over year change nationwide is a loss of more than 0.5% in equity, which is over $100 billion. Next, we take a look at the 10-year note yield. This is the US government bond that most closely tracks mortgage rates, and it certainly appears as if we might be headed higher and potentially substantially so. Hard to imagine real estate is going to be unaffected by this, even though Florida, for the moment, seems immune from the nationwide trend. Now we'll take a look at the Villages real estate market specifically. The number of listings this week is 335, down from 346 listings last week. Prices range from 187,000 to 2.9 million, and the number of listings certainly seems to have stalled out at 340 or so. Yeah, we zoom in on all listings to get some idea as to what price segments they fall into. You can see the last 5 weeks of data here. In the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, this week there are 222 properties for sale. Last week there were 226. The week before that, 224. The week before that, 238. And the week before that, 222. Median listing price per square foot for all listings currently on the market is $261.73 a square foot, up slightly from the $261.22 that we saw last week. We are barely above the $260 a square foot low that we've been seeing recently. This chart gives us an idea as to how long homes are staying on the market. This is the median time on the market for all listings. As of today, it's 47 days, the median time, compared to 45 days last week. This seems to be pretty much unchanged for the last 2 months or so. And our last look at total listings. This is a graph showing the percentage of listings that have been on the market for more than 100 days. 21% of all listings, which is 70 out of the 335 total, have been on the market for more than 100 days, up substantially from the 18% that we saw last week. This is a look at the number of new listings versus the number of homes that went pending. New listings, the blue line, and homes that went pending, the amber line. This week there are 41 new listings compared to 55 last week, and the number of homes pending increased from 42 last week to 46 this week. An in-depth look at the 41 new listings this week. As I said, there were 55 the week before. This shows the number of new listings in each price segment. This week, the most active price segment, $300,000 to $500,000 range, 23 new listings. Last week, 38. The week before, 17. Week before that, 31. And the week before that, 29. If we look at the median price per square foot on the homes that went pending over the last 7 days, it's up to $260.81 from $258.25 that we saw last week. We do seem still to be in the $245 to $255 range, although this week, obviously, it's higher than that. Here we look at how long homes that went pending were on the market before going pending. The median time this week is 24 days compared to 31 days the previous period. The median time on the market for homes that went pending is back to the lower end of the range at just barely above 20 days on a median basis. Here we look at what the price change was for the homes that went pending over the last 7 days. A median decrease of 4.89% from the original listing price, an improvement from the 5% decrease that we saw last week. Our last look at pending home sales. This gives us a perspective as to how quickly homes are leaving the market. Homes that went pending within 7 days of being listed numbered 11 out of the 46 homes that went pending, which is almost a quarter, up from 21% last week. Good news for the market. Now we take a look at the homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days. They numbered only 25, almost half of the 48 homes that sold in the previous 7 day period. Prices ranged from just under $143,000 to $970,000. Only 25 homes selling in a 7 day period here is a marked reduction from what we've seen over the last few months. Here we take a closer look at the homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days. You have 5 weeks of data here. In the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, the last 7 days saw 13 homes close, down from 26 the week before. It was 20 the week before that, 25 the week before that, and 30 the week before that. This graph shows us the price per square foot on homes that closed over the last 7 days. The median was $251 a square foot, up from the $243 that we saw last week. We still seem to be in the $240 to $255 range. Here we take a look at how long the homes that closed over the last 7 days were on the market before going pending. The median time on the market for the homes that sold was 29 days, an improvement from the 31 days that we saw last week, and dramatically improved from the almost 50 days that we saw just 2 weeks ago. And our last look at homes that closed within the last 7 days, 28 of them were within 7 days of being listed, an improvement from the 23% that was in effect last week. This graph shows us what percentage of listings have decreased their asking price from their original listing price. Over 54% of current listings have reduced their price from the original listing price. More homes have had a price decrease than was in effect last week. And if we take a look at what the percentage of the decrease was, we are seeing decreases continuing. A reduction of 4.78% is the median decrease from the original listing price for all listings in the villages currently. Markedly worse than the 4.35% that we saw last week. That is this week's look at the Villages real estate market. If you have any interest in buying a home in the Villages and you're trying to determine what a fair price would be, or you're trying to sell your home at a reasonable price in a reasonable time, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Be happy to help you. Also, if you have any questions about life in the Villages itself, be happy to help you with that as well. Hope to hear from you. Take care.